set, huh?
Giving a guy the tour, the parents of the plant.
Who?
My parents, they won't come down here, they're too old. You know?
How old are they?
Oh, about 72.
Yeah? Mine never show up either.
Yeah, this way you can see what I do for a living. How's the boiler?
Good, but it should be burned off. It's starting to build up.
Is it?
Yeah, you see that sparkler, you know?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Did you just get that one?
That's my son-in-law's. He left it for me to play with. He decided to take off. You
Color,
see?
huh?
Yeah. You see Fonz anymore?
No, I haven't seen him for a couple weeks now. I guess he's still doing the temporary shit.
Yeah. I'll be glad when everybody leaves and I can do a walk through this dump. You know that?
So where were your parents? Get him on there. Would you like to be him?
Huh?
Would you like to be
you're very
There's
nice.
the guy with the celebrity face.
Really reading us. We better get out of here.
Did I give you the keys?
I think so. I'm going to get Rocky on tape tonight. Did you see Don?
No, I haven't seen
Just Rocky. As you can see, we have a lot of company artists. Yeah. This is the smoking break room, where we get to spend a lot of our time. So then in turn leads to the non-smoking, with all our food machines, microwave, a pay phone, where I get to talk to the missus on when she calls or I call her. As you can see, there ain't much in here to eat today. So then out into the hallway to the client time clocks. And then side door that leads out towards the mill building. One of the sprinkler systems that we always have to check. At least once around, this is the one that was giving us so much trouble. For a while till maintenance fixed it. Well, basically, that's what you're looking at, the gauges. To keep pressure on them, keep them about that pressure. Well, and of course we're looking at the parking lot where the office people park, and I usually park in the handicap zone since nobody's here. And of course the mill building. One of the company cars for the salesmen or whoever to use. And as we head into parts where the officer, foremans, and everybody eats, or during break, our famous, I believe that's one of their tables, some of their chairs that they made. And our famous, infamous coffee pot that Neptune keeps unplugging on you. Takes about 20 minutes to get the thing to warm back up then. And our little refrigerator to keep stuff cold. And we come into the secretary's office where we have the surveillance system and monitoring camera. And of course, as you can see all around it, some of Rocky's, when he's not busy, his little folding of money that he does. And, you know, another little spare room where I usually call the missus on the weekends. So where the coax runs in for the CB antennas from up in there. And, oh yeah, the new chair, of course, the new office chair. Oh well, what can you say? And back out into the hallway where everybody punches in, and different collections of trophies over the years that the company has won. I don't know. And the front door, of course, leading across the street to the office. And more trophies for the women's side. For various different baseball and events. And of course, back into the break room where I can have a cigarette till it's time to do my rounds and finish listening to the scanner. As you can tell, I take over the whole desk and the whole table. And a little of everything sitting around here. How about the CB today? Just too hard to do. Now it's time to start the first round. This is where to keep the cleaning supplies and various stuff. Now it's kind of all locked up, but you know, one of the first keys is we got here outside the break room. And we got a punch. I don't know how this is going to work trying to do it with the camcorder and punch a key, but hopefully we have enough experience after 20 years on the job. You see, this is like a little storage place for various stuff. Keep your literature and other stuff in here. And where you stick recyclables until you can move it out of here. That's the radio room over where that door is, and that little air conditioner to keep all the radio, phone stuff, and some of their electronic stuff that monitor the computers. Cool. And as we go out, we're heading for the CNC building. There's the maintenance shop, those two doors. And as you can see, the mill building is right there. So we head for the second key. This is kind of where they put all the recyclables and garbage It'll be hauled out and separated, and kind of warehousing too in the same place out of here. It's kind of like a loading dock over back by those doors for when we get truckers in. Off that way would be the CNC machining area. Of course, we're coming up to our famous scale where I like to weigh myself and find out what I weigh, but not today. I'm scared to find out. And as you can see, you got more storage, a finishing room way over and back from here. This is where they get all their parts and delivered and get separated. As you can tell, a lot of boxes to be separated. There's a sprinkler system beyond those boxes, but so packed we can't get at it to check. And we got key number 2 coming up here. Hopefully we can get this one. And of course our elevator that we ride here and there. You can see some of the places kind of dark. And the other guy goes around and turns off all the lights. Now we're coming up to the 2nd floor of the CNC. This is where they do some more, what would you call it, the upholstering of furniture, getting orders done for the final and last minute touches. And so we had a key right over here. It's pretty dark up here. Those are some light on way back there, which leads to the upper foreman's offices for the CNC room, which is the only light he hasn't been able to turn off on us in here. And where they keep all their upholstering, padding, and other various stuff that they do up in here. It's not too easy to punch that key and trying to hold a camcorder at the same time. It's a little difficult. So, you know, to one of the tramways, which overlooks shipping and receiving, and where the store the garbage I showed you before as we came in. Once we have a key out here, we have to punch and continue along our journey. But the place has been cleaned up because Monday they had a tour come through here, so they were in a hurry to get all the garbage out of here and stuff. And as you can see, CNC's over there. You can see the foreman's offices from up here. We're coming up to what is the finishing department, one of the finishing lines for various furniture and stuff they make here. As you can see, that booth is where they spray a lot of the furniture, and then out this way it leads to the other key to the solvent room where they store different paints and solvents and stuff for the finishing departments, which we have a kind of a view of the plant from up here and a nice view of the lake. You know, someday I'll figure out what I'm doing with one of these things. And of course you can overlook Main Street in the office from up here. And we got another key in the solvent room. And just a storage place for all their different chemicals or paints and solvents. Into the finishing line or department, which brings us into case goods where they handcraft a lot of special ordered furniture for libraries, hospitals, motels, you name it. This is where they assemble it all, make it all by hand from scratch, put it together, glue it, and ship it over to the finishing department. And this brings us to the tramway. That'll take us over into the top floor of the mill building, which here is where we always look up to see if we can see the flags to get which wind direction is blowing, and so we can write that on the boiler chart. Well, like I said, we do have a fairly good view of the water from up here. And other parts of the factory. Some of their warehousing over there where they dry and keep wood for when they need it. And this is where they just store spare parts up here. Here what we're coming to is what's known as the bat cave. This is where we have all the bats at nighttime. Which there's another key back here. And it's just mainly a storage area for parts of chairs, tables, whatever. As you can see. Same on this side where the key's located at. But this is where we usually have the bats flying around at. And I believe we have our key. Heading back to the second key, there's two keys up here, and so they do have a lot of stuff just stored for parts and panels and you name it. It's up here. They do a little working over in this corner, a little milling of stuff for making different size holes and fittings for the stuff for the furniture. And we have another key hanging here. Now nobody's supposed to know this factor, but this is what I was telling the missus or Debbie about the other night. Definitely the infamous cupboard. Like I said, there they are. One black. And one white one. As you can see, it was a practical joke on the foreman up here. And his private reading material, of course, with other little sorts of goodies, but nobody's supposed to know that about this. So now as we head towards the elevator and the stairways, get down to the second floor, which would be milling and sanding and various stuff like that. As you can see, you got a storage room for parts that you keep locked. We have two keys on this floor. This is where they glue and sand and retouch up and do some of the milling of different furniture and products and stuff. As you can see, we have a parts of chairs all lined up and being glued and drying there. And we come up to our other key. Now we're heading over to where they do the sanding up in here and repatching up stuff that has little nicks or scratches that have to be touched up before it can be finished. And this is a floor that's usually about 100 degrees in summertime, which we're heading over to where they do some more milling and various stuff out here, sanding out the seats for chairs. And making different size spindles and various things for parts for the furniture. Which we have another key up here that we got to punch. Now we head back down to the stairway to catch floor number 1, where they got parts and sanding and drilling of the holes and putting the dowels in the ends of them to hold the stuff together. As we come down to the mill building, first floor, which shall bring us into the boiler room. This is where they do the planing, the gluing, the jointing of all the wood that you see on the other 2 floors, which we have another key coming up here. This would be where they do the sharpening of all the blades and stuff. We're heading for the boiler room. This is the infamous Kenny, the head hogger. This is where the boiler operator's got his little room for whatever, which he doesn't do much of. The area where we got to call the time and temp, and of course our blackboard tells us anything that we should know that's going on, and all various charts that tell you what's going on with the boiler, so you can take them along with you in case you have problems. Of course, then there's the boiler room. Right now, boiler number 2 is running. That's the one we're looking at. Right up in here. Of course, now we're looking at boiler number 1 there, which chair factory. Noisy in there. And that's without the big compressors going. Right over there's the old blacksmith shop. Now they use for storage of plumbing stuff. Of course the kilns where they dry the wood. They're on both sides of that building. More storage back there of wood that's air dried for different kind of furniture. And then we got a truck trailer there being loaded. It's got kind of a small loading dock back in here. And this is where furniture comes down from the other finishing line up on the top floor. As you can see, we got enough chairs ready to go and parts of tables, you name it. This is all the chair line. At times this whole line is just packed. But they've been really shipping stuff out lately to get the orders out. We also have another sprinkler system in this building that we always got to check on the gauges and see how it's running and sure everything's good. That's one of the sprinklers. Of course, then we head for the elevator. Somebody didn't send it all the way down. I thought we were alone in here today. Our freight elevator. Now we're up on floor number 2 where they assemble some of the furniture. As you can see, there's some here from the finishing line, and they do some of the reupholstering of the chairs over in this here area. And back through here, where's one of the other keys, is where they store more spare parts. You name it, they got it back here for parts for furniture, whatever. Which brings us back where one of the keys are located, which is another area of for storage of parts and more spare parts and furniture. And of course one of our keys again. And we head back to the elevator to hit floor 3 where they got a assembly line of different things for furniture or chairs, whatever they happen to be working on at the time. And we get lucky, we got a key right off the elevator. Usually don't have to go that far in here, but this is already assemble more chairs before they're finished. And chairs waiting to be assembled, parts of them. And then you go over to the conveyor. Which takes them up to the finishing department. Now we're coming up on the 4th floor to the finishing room. As you can see, this way I don't have to wait for the elevator to go down. This is their line where you spray them. You can see some of them are coming up on the finish way back there. And they come out finished. Go right around. And you can see they got table legs up here that they were doing, other size chairs. course, another key, and the elevator just hit bottom there. One of the booths where they come out of. And it goes back there. Somebody likes to, been here a long time, all the different wind chimes and stuff hanging over the years, I guess. Pictures on the wall of all the employees that work up in this department. So, next we'll be heading for the tramway, where they put the chairs after they come. They get some of them finished for testing the color and stuff more. The conveyor that takes them down, where they test to match the colors up, make sure it's all coming out to the customers ordering. Where they're holding more of the chairs, they're waiting for shipment or have special requests. And now we're coming to the tramway, which takes us into our break room building. As you can see, we have a nice view of the plant from up here. Water tower. Looking down at the hog room there. Of course, we have a nice day. As you can see, the cars parked down there. The shaker. Of course, the office building over there. At nighttime, you got a nice view up here of different places. There's the roof that Kenny's always talking about to me. Never finished it. Parking lot. And of course my little CB antenna that we snuck up here. Usually you can see the church clock tower from here, but yeah, it's better at night. Get a much better view at night of the tower. See another area for storage where parts were. This is and another tramway to get back over to the other building. More steps down into an old finishing room that they moved to one of the other buildings, so now we just have one key here to do. And of course down into engineering, which is going to take us down into the break room, and that's about our round. Of course that's all engineering in there. It's all dark right now, but and this is engineering in here. And come into some where they have a few of the foreman's offices and other people that's involved, and of course the printer that we always got to check, you know. And we got problems with it. You're gonna have to check this, but basically it's more offices leading us back down into the office secretaries where we started from, one of our security cameras. So looks like the tape's about down away, so I'm gonna have to go check this printer, and door leading to the outside fire escape where I got the coax up.